We're back, GB at Night, live from the Warframe Villa. I'm Jeff Grubb from giantbomb.com. That was a spin drift you heard opening right there. That's right, I'm tattling on you, Niki. Andrea Rene is here with me. How you doing, Andrea?
Oh, I'm great, Mr. Grubb. How are you?
I'm great. Glad to have you here.
I do have to say it's Andrea.
Andrea. Okay, I was
That's
like,
crazy, bud.
yeah, well,
I do say my name on camera for a living.
I know, and I'm like, why did I think it was Andrea? I think.
You know, a lot of people do this. There's a couple key people who I'm not going to name, big people who work at Xbox, who call me Andrea intentionally now because they know it gets under my skin.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to do it. All right.
No, don't do it, Jeff.
I'm going to go over there with them, and we're going to call you Andrea.
No, I had a professor once who called me Andrea because I said my name's Andrea because I'm from the Midwest. I'm from North Dakota, so
okay, right.
we've got those A's and those O's, and so I say I'm Andrea Rene. So he's like Andrea, and he always called it like that.
Oh, so you emphasized the A?
Yeah,
Okay.
like he literally said it like Andrea. And that also was kind of weird.
I think what we should all do, instead of me messing with your name, we should all just call Jeff Keighley Geoff from now on.
Geoff.
I
We should just
advise
do it.
against that.
I'm going to do it, Jeff. Next time I see you. Niki Grayson, how you doing?
Hello.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I'm British now.
Yeah, okay. Wow. If you're British, can you do a hello, love? Can you give me
Hello,
that?
love.
All right, that's pretty good. I'll accept it now. Charles Harte, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Mr. Groob. How
There we go.
Yeah.
Hardy. There we go. That's Charles Hardy.
I had a teacher in 5th grade said, "Hey, can I call you Hardy the one-man party?" And I thought about it for a second, and I said, no.
No.
Because that's not my name. You
Yeah.
just made that up out of nowhere.
Also, I don't need a teacher calling me a one-man party.
He was a cool teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any bad teachers that called you any fun names?
A lot of people, my name is Charles, and I go by Charles, but a lot of Charleses go by other names.
Sure. We had a Chuck on here earlier.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
And I think people are uncomfortable calling me Charles, so they come up, they're like Charlie or Chuck or Chaz. I get Chuckles a decent amount.
No, that's not okay.
I don't like
I'm
Chuckles at all.
desperate to call every Charles a Chuck. So whenever I meet a Charles, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get to call this fucker a Chuck. Let's
Yeah. Chuck is nice. It's when it gets like real specific that I'm like, my party trick is if you say Charles Hart really fast, it sounds like Charizard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Do it a bunch.
Charles Hart. Charles Hart. Whoa, yeah. It's right there. Guillermo Leoz is here. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man? Welcome to the Independent Games Media Liberation Front. We're so glad to have you in our ranks.
Yeah, we're following in your footsteps.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
How's it been going for you? Because we haven't figured shit out.
Oh, it's been going great.
Good.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. We're pretty thankful for our community who's supporting us and sort of paying for this trip. So thank you, everyone back home. Twitch.tv/NewGamePlus. This is the third time I've been here.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever plugged our website.
Okay, well, you get a few more, so save it for us. Yeah.
Sure. And I think I'm the only one qualified to actually pronounce Andrea's name correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Which is Andrea. And so maybe I don't
Except
know if it
I'm
sounds as
German.
cool.
Oh no. With an Italian name at that.
Okay,
I blame my
German Italian
mom.
name from North Dakota.
That's
yeah.
right. It makes sense, right?
Works for me, absolutely. Michael Fitch, how you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, Other Side Entertainment. You work with Warren, right? Warren Spector?
I do work with Warren Spector, yeah.
Every time I think about Warren now, I think about Mike Minotti making him ride a Disney ride. You want to just shout real quick? Yeah.
Hi.
What did you do to Warren?
You made Warren Spector ride a Disney ride
I
with
made him
you?
ride Space Mountain with me, and I talked to him a lot about the synchronized soundtrack for it.
I love
It was
this.
very cool. That was my first ever work event, too.
Thank you, Mike Minotti.
I got drunk at the Tron party afterwards. The Tron teenies.
Good for you.
Thank you. There we go. You
One
could've
up.
Shot me in the face with this and killed me. Peter Szyptek, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I went fishing and I won this.
Oh, you okay? So you did.
Is that a fleshlight?
Okay.
Because that's exactly what it looks like.
Oh,
I remember having these as a
I thought
kid.
this was after dark.
It is. You did. Oh, yeah,
night?
you're fine. They're reverse dildos. You're right. Yeah.
And I
That's
don't
exactly
know,
what
like,
this is.
Can I take this on a plane? It's
I don't know.
Yes, you can.
Can you? Is there like?
I mean, I'm not speaking from experience, but I've
What
heard.
is it with people on this website that think that you cannot take a sex toy on a plane?
No,
we
it's
did
filled with
Game
water.
Here.
You can.
It's liquid.
It's filled with like fluids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, if I just put this in with like my like toiletries and stuff, do you think they're just not gonna?
I think. Well, do you have
But
like?
why don't you do it and look at the TSA guy's face when he has to
eye
pull it out
contact?
and it's like, ugh.
Yeah. Just like a right in the face. Yeah, there we go. You know, the story with these is Mike Minotti.
I'm not coming back.
No, you he was at a Rainforest Cafe and found one of these, and he was doing this. It's like a 12-year-old, and his dad's like, "You can't do that. All these sinners do that."
This is like a quintessential childhood item that sort of
Cafe?
teaches
At a
you.
Rainforest Cafe. Mike Minotti jerked off at a Rainforest Cafe. That's like,
Well, who hasn't?
welcome to the Warframe Villa.
Oh man, this conversation went south fast.
Okay, so I just wanted to bring that up about Warren. Now we're on that again as well. But Peter, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I have this, and I'm here, and you have cultivated a lovely vibe.
You want another one?
Appreciate that. Yeah. So when you
Double fisted.
tell me about the fishing, because I was wondering how that was going to work. I'm in here. I didn't see it. Were you actually able to hook something, or did he have to gimmick it?
No, it was very stressful. I had to hook it with a real fish hook,
Yes.
and all the bubbles were on in the
Okay, so
in
here's the
tub.
thing, right? We were out there. There was a big button for the bubbles. Turned themselves on.
Oh. It's a
Unclear
haunted
how
hot
that
tub.
happened, and then I put more bubbles in, which was probably bad for the audio, but that's your
But it
problem.
also it hides the place to hook them.
Yeah, and that's tough.
So, like-
but the hook right into my hand.
Ooh.
That was
fine.
that was gonna be my next
So you're
question.
using a real fish hook,
Yeah, it was a real.
Who do you think was in charge of this?
not an adult.
Dan Reichert. That's right.
Yeah, not gimmicks.
Yeah, we're like, there's like toy fish hooks. There's a hardware store over there. He's
No,
like,
no,
nope.
real fish
It
hook
was a shoot
directly
hook.
into my
It
hand.
was a shoot hook. That's right. Yeah. Did anyone else get hooked, or Nikki, were you the only victim?
Of course, it was just me.
You're on one, huh? You're on a streak.
Having a good week.
Yeah. Oh no. You gonna be able to get a new Switch too and all
I
that?
think so. Thank you.
Yeah.
She
Shouts to
donated to my
everybody.
GoFundMe. All my shit got stolen last
Yeah.
week.
Ooh.
And by last week, yesterday. I don't know what day it is anymore. But yeah, my stuff got stolen. But appreciate everybody who donated. Thank you.
Yep.
Kind. Thank you.
That's great. Guillermo, what am I holding?
Some Sherba from Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be energized. And
Yes, I'm gonna rip
Okay,
it as soon as I
now
get
the
home.
last time
Going
this
to need it.
happened, it went bad.
Well, I just got really fucking hyped up.
I said what I
Oh wait,
said.
so what is this?
This is
you
like
need to
their,
try this.
yeah, this is like their national drink, right?
Yes, it's our national drink. It's called Sherba or Yerba, whatever.
Yeah, it's spelled Y-E-R-B-A, but they pronounce it
So it's like a tea?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the proper one, not in a can or whatever. You
Right.
put hot water and with like a straw, a metal straw.
With like a strainer on it, because
Yes,
it's just gonna be loose leaf, and then you just hot water and you drink it, and
awesome.
it fucks
You
me
can
up.
fight
so,
God.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's better than coffee
Oh, yeah.
or I don't know, especially I don't know, an energy drink or
yeah.
whatever. So it keeps you awake.
Yeah, I fell off for a little bit, and then the last month I started making it again. I'm like,
Nice.
oh yeah, so this is gonna hit the spot.
You
for
knew
sure.
I was coming.
I knew.
You got back in the Sherba, so
Yeah.
congrats. Great,
Good
man.
Congrats.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. One
all
of
right.
us.
Peter, what have you been up to recently? I know, like last time I had you on, doing a bunch of YouTube stuff. I know you're still doing some YouTube stuff. How's that going?
So I was a journalist for a long time.
Yeah.
And then
You got out?
Well, it's interesting. We it was maybe a mutual thing. Maybe it wasn't. I don't want to blow your mind, but I was laid off in the game industry.
What?
I know.
In the game industry?
I know.
Shocking.
I was so offended.
Blasphemy.
I know. But so that happened in May. But believe it or not, I think we're all kind of aware of where things have been going, especially in like games media and whatever. I know obviously you guys.
I noticed something, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe one or
Just a little
two
thing,
things,
just a
huh?
little thing.
Yeah, but so like I've sort of seen where that was going for a while at my old job, and so I was like, I should probably start putting some eggs in other baskets and whatever. So I started a YouTube channel in January, and just using some of the skills and whatever. It was mostly just like practice stuff. But then I had two of my videos go kind of viral, which was cool.
Which ones?
I made one about.
If we were going to search for him, what would we search for?
Yeah, what we type into the computer.
This is where you plug yourself.
Peter Szyptek, PeterSpittech
That's a lot of letters.
on YouTube.
A lot of letters.
One word.
Maybe come up with a scream name.
Yeah. That's actually a simplified version of my last name.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I made one about Wolfenstein and white supremacy. So that was
Why'd you say it so quiet?
what's that?
Say it so
He's not
quiet.
pro-white supremacy, Nikki.
So I made that, and that's kind of what sort of set my channel into motion, which was really cool. I went on vacation the day that blew up.
Good.
So I was like literally like out of the country, like looking. I was like, oh my gosh, this is 100,000 views on a channel with 50 subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
And then I made one about Dead Space, which was really fun, and I just put one out about The Last of Us, the TV show, and how I think it's sort of in conversation with the game in a very weird way. So that's what I've been doing, and then now I don't have the day job, and so that is sort of where the focus is going.
Yeah, how's that transition worked for you? Has it been like kind of odd to not have the normal hours to get the work done, and now it's all on you?
I'm a person who like requires like a lot of structure in my life, and so like when that kind of goes away, it's sort of like I guess I'm gonna stay up until 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Like every night, and then I just turn into a vampire. My fiance doesn't like that at all, because she works weird hours, and so she's up at 4 a.m. So I'm like, hey.
She's like, you're not supposed to be
still
awake.
here. Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah, but it is interesting though about like just this whole thing about like you spend so long thinking you are someone, and then when that thing sort of gets sort of like taken away from you, it's a very odd like sort of like journey of self-discovery about like, well, what do I do now that this thing is gone? You know what I mean? I was, like I said, I was a video producer and section lead for 2 years, and then now it just stopped. And so like, what do you do? I'm like, well, I could still lead my own video team of just me, you know. But yeah, so like trying to find out like how do you balance all of that, and like how can you even like look at doing this sort of thing full time if you haven't been doing it all that long has been weird. But like it's been cool because like I said, I started in January. My goal was to get 1,000 subscribers and be monetized by December, and that happened in February. So it's like, you know, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
And like, I got mad respect for that because it's like digital busking.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You gotta like go online and entertain people. And
It's
like,
weird.
You either entertain them or you don't.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you saying so.
Yeah, it's like at a certain point, it's like, wait, who's my boss? And it's like, oh, the audience has become my boss a little bit. And
Yeah.
also YouTube, which is the worst. Yeah, but
The
Believe it or not-
algorithm.
yeah, the algorithm. Yeah.
Believe it or not, making a video about white supremacy it's not very ad friendly.
Yeah.
And then making a video about an HBO television show is not very ad friendly. So yeah, there's some learning to be done, but.
Oh, did you think you were going to make money on YouTube? Oh, sweet summer child. Let me tell you some stories. Okay.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Let's hear.
Yeah.
Oh, how much time do you have?
45 minutes.
Michael, how are things going at Other Side?
All things are going great. We're very excited to show people the game.
Yep.
It
It's
looks
gonna be
sick as fuck.
It does.
Thank you so
Tell
much.
people about the
Sick
game real
as
quick.
hell.
So Thickest Thieves is a 4-player PvPvE game where you are a master thief competing with other master thieves in competitive stealth. There's a mission, you gotta try and find the key loot, you gotta try and get it out before other people do, and if they get to it before you do, then you're after them. So the game is always afoot. The fun thing about PvPvE is it's always a higher level of tension and excitement because you got other players in the mix. And it's not just solo stealth. It's a whole world that could come at you from any angle. So it's been a lot of fun to work on. We're excited to get people signing up for playtest.
Yeah, it sounds like the kind of thing where it could create a lot of interesting interactions between players. Does it also create a lot of complications and annoying problems that you guys have to solve for?
I mean, every game development is full of annoying problems that you have to solve for. I think the fun one with this is that we've got some new functionality that like allows for things we've never seen before. So like one of the things one of the thieves can do is disguise themselves as any NPC in the world. And so you get these wonderful kind of showdowns where there are two thieves and they're disguised as different NPCs, and whoever can tell first that the other one's an NPC has the advantage. They get the drop on them, right? It's like, I've never played that experience before in a game, and so it's great to have those kinds of things where it's like this is a completely new experience. No one's ever done this before.
You said playtesting soon? Is that where you guys are
Yeah,
at now?
we're trying to get playtesters to sign up. We're at the point where we need actual players to come in and play the game and see how it plays with them. So we've been developing this for a couple of years now. We feel like we've got something that's got some juice to it. We want to get players involved and see how they feel about it.
How does that transition work where it's you get just designing, now you're like looking around like, okay, are we at a point where we're ready to show this to people? And how do you design sort of the feedback system on all that?
I mean, the key part is getting to a place where you have a playable build that you can rely on, right? And especially with a 4-player PvPvE, it's got to be like rock solid multiplayer. You got to be able to get into a match quickly and play against other people. So you know, the challenge has been getting to the point where we have a robust enough game that we can put it in front of players and they're going to go, oh, I get it, as opposed to, oh, what the hell am I supposed to do here? Like, where's the UI? Where's the tutorials? Like, no, that's the last stuff you build, right? So we're still in the place where it's like the game is still pretty raw, but we want players in as early as possible, right? Because that dialogue that you get into with players where you're putting something out there, they're playing it, and how they react to it tells you kind of what the next thing is that needs to be done, right? That's like the sweet spot. When you get there, you're really in that relationship with the audience. That's when you make the most progress, right? Like early on in a game, it is so slow. Games like suck for years. It's like it sucks, it sucks, it sucks, it sucks, it sucks, it sucks, and then suddenly it's awesome, right? We're in the sucks part, right? It's still sucking, right? But it's gonna be awesome really soon, right? And part of that is getting into that relationship where we're getting the feedback, we're getting the data, we're getting the telemetry off the players, and figuring out what they're actually vibing with.
Sure, yeah. Well, so you guys are at Summer Game Fest. Are you showing the game off here, or is it just kind of like, how's it going now?
It's behind closed doors, so we're still doing very early, like we're pre-alpha. This thing is not feature complete, but we are going to do our very first hands-off demos at the Play Days over the next few days. So we're excited to show people.
Very cool, awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Thickest Thieves is like you're tight, like as a saying that's like we're thick as thieves.
Yeah.
Is it saying that you're like thick with someone?
Not exactly.
Like if I'm like, me and Niki are thick, does that mean we're close?
Yeah, I think
Well, Thickest Thieves definitely means that.
Yeah, that's what
I know.
I don't know if that's
it
what
means.
thick means anymore.
I was just realized I've never heard it out of that context, and I was also like, how thick are thieves?
Mike Minardi, I think, knows.
Yes.
I think one of these, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You also gotta be
Oh,
careful
no.
with thieves because they can turn on you at any moment. So,
Exactly, yeah.
How thick
Okay.
are thieves really?
Is there like an element of like working together with the other Ps in the
So
PvP?
we're still playing with co-op. It's not an official part of the game right now. The competition is the first thing that we really want to get right. 'Cause
Right.
If the competition's dynamic, you can always add in cooperation, right?
Can I ask a question?
You can.
One of the things I was the most excited that I saw today, so I have a million questions about it. How do you design against people just naturally being friends in games? I've been kicked out of Fortnite matches, right? Because I've been playing solo, and I crouch in front of a person enough times that they're like, "We're friends now," and then they're like, "You've been in the car together for too long. Get the fuck out of here!" Like, how are you building against that?
Well, so there's an inherent competition built in because there's a finite amount of loot in the world, and whoever gets the most of it out is going to win. So there's always a level of competition that's going on. Ultimately, like, we don't want to tell players, no, you can't play that way, right? The whole reason why Other Side exists is Warren and Paul got together because they wanted to make games that empowered players to make their own choices. So if you want to play friendly, like, we don't want to say no,
Right.
But we want to make sure it's fair for the other people who are in the match, right? If you come in with a friend and you're like, it's going to be us two against everybody else, that's not exactly fair.
But if you
right?
have the skill to like win someone over, I think that should be allowed. That's awesome.
Totally, but like, there's also the risk that you may betray them after
Right.
you've won them over, right? I mean, that dynamic of you don't know whether I can trust this person or not, way more interesting than like, oh, we're locked in. I know for sure this person's on my side, right? So, will there be opportunities to work with other players? Absolutely, right? How do we balance that in a way that it doesn't give players who are cooperating like an advantage? You gotta
Griefing,
look
right?
at the distribution of opportunities, right? Sorry, what?
Griefing,
Briefing, yeah.
right? Like you don't want that to like overtake your game.
That is another huge one, right? Because absolutely, any multiplayer environment, you're going to get griefers. And they're there not to play the game at all, but to ruin the experience for everybody else, right?
Yeah, you think you're friends, but then you're not friends in a very specific way.
Yeah. So it's definitely front of mind for us because, new players are your most valuable resource. They're the ones who become longtime players. They're the ones who become evangelists, right? And so the last thing we want to do is create terrible experiences for new players. And griefing is one of the easiest ways to make that a terrible experience, right? So it's definitely front of mind for us. But in terms of development, we're looking down the road and thinking, competitive definitely got a lot of juice to it. Cooperative's definitely got a lot of juice to it. Let's see how many different flavors of this we can put into the world in a way that feels really dynamic and really stealth-based, right? Because I think the thing that we're missing, and you saw it in like a number of other announcements recently, people are dying for good stealth games. There hasn't been something in a while. People have that hunger.
Charles, how are things going with the job? How you doing?
The Game Informer job?
Yeah, the Game Informer. No, your other job. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of news today, but I don't know if you know the big Game Informer news.
Tell me the big Game Informer news. I'm ready to hear it, and I'm ready to hear a URL as well.
Today's the day. You can go to GameInformer.com/subscribe and subscribe to the physical magazine.
All be informed.
Thank you. We're very excited. Been working on it for a while. We just had our writer come back from the cover story trip, so that'll be real exciting when that comes out. I can't tell you because you're a smart person. I mean, we've got a bunch of stuff, so that's our thing. We've got better paper. We got more pages.
Hell
so
yeah, dude.
Just the physical experience of holding it and turning through it. We had like kind of a newsprint-esque quality before, and now it's going to feel like a real premium product.
Can't wait to slice my fingers open on that.
It's also, we're having it so 5% of, I believe the wording is 5% of each purchase of a subscription goes to St. Jude.
Yes.
We have, we have
love
a
that.
set donation in place, and that was like a big thing that Editor-in-Chief Matt Miller was like really passionate about, like from months and months ago. Was like, it'd be really cool if we could get some charity into this. So that's really exciting. And then the Game Informer show, our podcast, came back today. That's going to be a new weekly thing. Wow, this is such a great couch. Everyone applauds for that. And yeah, it's really nice to go from, you know, we died and then we came back, but it was a secret and we were trying to build stuff back up, and then we relaunched, but the magazine wasn't back yet. And there's a lot of, I'm sure you know, there's a lot of work that goes into like building up the foundation to get back into the normal workflow of things.
Yeah, I've heard it.
We spent so long doing that. So it's very nice that we're finally up at the point where we can be like a month or two from now, we'll be fully back into our old swing of things of like, we'll have streams going, podcasts going, regular cover stories. And I was part-time before, I'm full-time now, so I'm just cover stories.
Right.
Let's go.
That was the cool thing. It's like, oh man, everyone was able to come back, and some people were able to move up and get more money, and just kind of just be able to do this work for real. That was really exciting. I'm glad it's working out, and I'm subscribed. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's good times.
How's Summer Game Fest going for you otherwise?
Well, I haven't participated much because I got in today, and I had a delayed flight, and then I got a connection, and then I had a middle seat. And
Are you tall?
It's not apparent because I'm sitting, but I'm the tallest person
in the world.
In the world, probably.
Yeah.
And then it should be illegal for airplane chairs to recline. That's
Yeah.
I've never reclined my chair
that's
ever.
crazy.
I
to
don't
me.
either. Yeah.
And
Make them all recline.
the person
Or make them all
And
recline.
and then we're all in the same boat.
The person in front of me was reclining, and it was just like my knees were already on the seat, and they were pressing the recline button, trying to go back, and they're like, "Man, this seat's broken because it's not moving at all." And eventually, I had to get to the point where like I have to move my knees up to add more leverage against the seat to be like, just.
So you're being nice. I would have been like, I'm just tall. You can't recline.
It's just physics. I can't go anywhere.
There's something about being so large that you feel the need to apologize for it so often because it's the first thing people like. Every time I get on a plane, the flight attendant's like, "Oh, watch your head." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been on planes before. I'm aware of it more than you are." So it was like if it had been 1% further back, I would have said something, I think, but also maybe I would have been too anxious.
It's
I'll
like
never
that
know.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So good flight.
Yeah, you had a great
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I was gonna go to the main showcase and I missed it because of the connection and all that.
I don't know if you missed
But
anything.
I mean, I watched it on my phone in the Uber,
That's the same.
so
I mean, Mads Mikkelsen was there.
he was there. I didn't get to see Mads.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Kojima.
So handsome,
Yeah.
dude.
Did you see him? You were in the audience?
You know when you see someone and you know, okay, they are special. They are like a different species or something like that. So Mads Mikkelsen walks into the stage and, okay, that's a star. We are all just peasants. And it was like I don't know, it was
He looked
hard for me.
especially dapper. Like he looked really.
Yes.
He's aged well.
Yeah, for
Like the nice silver. Like,
I feel like his hair and facial hair is different every time I see
Yeah.
him. And it's always like,
evolves.
wow, he's looked like that for 30 years and he looks great.
No. He's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you go to the SGF Live or anything?
I did.
What do you think of it?
So I went last year as well, and after last year, we kind of looked at each other and we were like, "Hey, we don't need to do that again."
Then what
like,
happened?
like, what's that?
I said, and then what happened?
I mean, then we had to drive for fucking an hour to get out there and kind of not.
Welcome to LA.
Yeah. I'm from like Chicago suburbs, so
miles.
this is a lot. But like, you can watch it on stream, you'll be all right. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
well, that's what I was going to ask. Like, Andrew, did you go to it or did you?
I was there, yeah.
Yeah, right. You have made a lot of content. Like, if you were going to cover it today, like, what would be your path? Would you want to go there to have something to like talk about? Oh, I was there and that was the experience, or would you want to be at home streaming on Twitch?
I see both sides. As somebody who's been covering this industry for a long time, I love the energy of being in the room, hearing the audience reactions. And one of the things that I had posted on Blue Sky was that one of the biggest audience pops was for the Scott Pilgrim announcement, which was unexpected for me because you would think it'd be some of the bigger titles, but there was like this giant like reaction to Scott Pilgrim coming on screen, and you don't get that on stream, right? You can. Kyle Bosman came out ahead of the show going live and said, "Oh, the audience is mic'd this year, so just so you know, like we're not asking you to clap for things, but we, if you feel like the need to react, like we'd love to have you guys react." And I think it's good that they mic'd the audience, but at the same time, like being in the room is just a different vibe. And I love covering conferences. Like it used to be like the Monday of E3 was like the day. You'd like go to all of the conferences in a single day.
That was kind of special, yeah.
And it was just like this communal, amazing, shared passion and experience. So I love being in the room, but I also, as a creator and a producer, know that like the ROI, like the return, is being in your studio, streaming for your audience, with your, biggest super fans, having the conversation.
That's why Twitch doesn't come here anymore. Like they're like, we heard that from all our creators. They don't want to be here, so yeah.
And it's why there's a lot of really big content creators like will miss going to the live shows to be at home with their studio and with their audience to say like, this is how you know me, and this is where the biggest like connection with my audience is going to be. So like I see both sides, but I personally like being in the room and being there and seeing people in person and seeing the whole production, because Jeff Keighley and his entire team do such a fantastic job of doing a live production, and they have shifted a lot of what they do towards the broadcast. So something I noticed this year was that they were having some of their presenters walk out on stage before the trailer was done rolling, and they had never done that before. And as an audience member, I'm kind of like, oh, you're blocking the screen, but I'm like, oh no, this is for broadcast, right? Because that way when the camera comes back, the host can be ready to go. And shout out to Lucy James. She did a fantastic job co-hosting with Jeff this year. Love Lucy. And so I like doing both, but like doing live streams is, my bread and butter. I did it for a long time too, so.
Guillermo, you come all the way here to do this. Like, how do you feel about it?
I feel good. We have sort of like a hybrid system. The guys are back home.
Right.
They were streaming and reacting, and I was there in the YouTube theater, so they could see backstage things. They could see the like everything set up beforehand, and also I was like uploading things to Instagram and whatever. So we could have the best of both worlds. Like, and also I could tell them, yes, they popped really hard for Scott Pilgrim. They were really let down that Deadpool was only VR and exclusive to
Oh my gosh, the audible like deflation when like the Meta logo came up.
People were like angry.
They were so mad.
It was exclusive to Meta Quest 3 and 3S or whatever. I don't even know. We can't buy those back home. We don't even have them.
Right.
You were all going like apeshit for this Switch 2, at least you can buy it.
Right. That's. I mean, there's like tariff situation there, right? Like, but you guys.
Tariffs. A lot of things are happening. We also have a dipshit in office.
Sure,
right
that's
now.
right. Yeah.
Yes.
God, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. You see that picture of Elon Musk with the chainsaw or whatever. That was our president.
Yeah, you have one of those too.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
So sorry.
You don't have to apologize to us. We're sorry.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
Yeah. So.
President too.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone in this room voted for him, so
No one is selling the Switch 2. You can't buy it actually.
I heard that you can walk into select Walmarts and get them.
Oh yeah, here but you can do it in the US,
yes.
but
Correct, yes,
back in
that's fair.
Argentina, no one is selling it officially. Like some people are selling it for like $950 or something like that. It's crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
And some of our audience are ordering it from Amazon Europe or something like that, like paying like $700.
But aren't they region locked?
No.
No, just in Japan.
There's one version in Japan that's region locked. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's way cheaper.
Way cheaper, and they did like. And it's
So I guess buy
Japanese
one
like-
here before you go home?
Yeah.
I think I'm getting one tomorrow. I hope so.
Nice.
I can bring it home, yes, and we can do content because it's like pretty important for us. But
The audience.
Yes.
The audience can't buy it, but they're still interested.
Yeah. Even if the only thing to play is Mario Kart World, they want to know about everything.
Of course.
They feel disappointed if the HDR is not
broken.
optimized. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't give a
Oh, they
fuck.
didn't know? Oh.
I don't care. But the people in our Discord are like, well, good thing I didn't pre-order it.
But you know what that
Fucking
is.
HDR, who cares?
You know what that is.
Nintendo, though.
We're going to
like-
play as Donkey Kong next month. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
We can't help ourselves. It's like it's when we don't have something, we think of all the reasons it might be bad, and we just like it's the Spider-Man puddle shit. It's like the puddles are worse than Spider-Man. Oh my God, we do that for everything before we have it, and then once we have it, we never think about those things again.
Yes.
Like I turned the HDR off. I haven't thought about it once.
Of course, and you're enjoying playing as a cow in Mario Kart World?
I've been going a lot with the fish, what's his name, the glub or whatever the hell its name is. And
I want to be the penguin.
the penguin's cheap. Yeah, okay, look, it's been a long day, Nikki. I've got glub shitto on the brain, all right?
He needs
He
a
was
couple
thinking
shots.
grub.
There you
you
go.
know?
Grub. Yeah.
Spindrift.
Yeah, give me one of your spin drifts, Nikki. That's right. Yeah.
Are gamers in Argentina, are they like very console focused? Are they more PC
No,
focused?
PC focused.
Okay,
yes.
because like Brazil is very PC focused, right?
Yes, I mean, South America as a whole is very PC focused. We have a lot of free-to-play games. We have a culture of LAN parties, playing Counter-Strike, and a lot of free games. Also, a lot of piracy, which allowed us to try a lot of games from really incredible developers. I don't know why, but very niche survival horror games were incredibly popular back
That's
home.
what I was going to ask. Is like, so what's really popular in Argentina these days?
Oh, these days, multiplayer games, Counter-Strike still, but mainly PC free-to-play games.
Okay.
EAFC,
everywhere.
FIFA.
It's like everywhere, yeah.
Yes, but I think especially in an underdeveloped economy like ours, you need to be very picky with what you buy and.
Well, the hardware situation was that consoles getting imported into a lot of South American countries were prohibitively expensive.
That's
And so
especially true in Brazil.
the PC and the mobile market in particular really exploded there for that reason. Yeah.
Here you can buy a console for like $500, $600. You can't really buy, build a really good PC for that money. Back home, it's sort of the same price. I mean, it is a little bit more expensive a PC, but buying a console, it's not easy. It's still very expensive. And even though we were sort of a PlayStation nation and not much of a Nintendo country, PC, it's top of the line, and everyone tries to play there. Also, Steam has like some regional prices, and it helps.
Yeah. Did you all have that thing where like in Brazil they were making Genesises for like 20 years or whatever?
Yeah, we had like the NES was called the Family. But I mean, it's sort of from Famicom and whatever. And yeah, we had a thing called Songa, not Sega, or Sega, whatever. Sorry. Yes, so we enjoyed that. And they kept selling it for like, a lot of years. A lot of years until the PlayStation came. We all bought pirated copies of games for like really cheap. And that's how a whole generation was built around. Yeah.
I mean, it built the video game industry, like like an entire like viable consumer base that now does spend some money on games. Yeah.
We can make a living talking about video games because of piracy.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's two sides to a coin a lot of times. Nikki, how are you doing other than having all your shit stolen?
All right.
Other than that, how'd you like to play?
I'm at VGB's. It's a video game website. Which is my camera, Jan? Is it this one? VGBs.com. It's a good website. Me and John Warren have a
awesome
podcast
podcast.
every week. Thank you so much. VGB's podcast, wherever podcasts are sold. It's a blast. I mean, it's the independent games media thing, you know?
Yep.
Doing what you can, talking to a microphone, hoping people like the words that you're saying. It's a delight. Weird year for video games.
All of it.
Yeah.
I mean, just like not even from like not even from a we make stuff about video games perspective or making video games perspective. It's just like, what does it mean to be alive as a person in society in the year of our Lord 2025, right? Like, We are in a situation where 4 blocks away from where SGF is, we have ICE pulling people out of their workplaces, right? And then we have a man, sorry, fuck you, Splitgate 2 guy, coming out on stage, right, with like a make FPS grading, like literally go fuck yourself.
And then he announced a battle royale.
Brother, like,
the most basic shit
What
ever.
are you
A
talking
copy
about?
of Apex Legends. You already copied Halo. Now you're copying Apex Legends.
So
I'm sorry, dude.
No, you're so right. So it's like we're out here in a world, right, where people are being taken out of their lives and their livelihoods for no reason other than they are here different than other people are, even though they're contributing to society more than most, right? For what, right? And then we have people being put on stage in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people wearing hats that are comedy jokes about the most racist person in America.
Barely a joke even. Like
No,
it,
right.
yeah.
It was a joke like 5 years ago.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
So it is tough, right? Like the needle that we are currently having to thread, right, is like we sit here, we have this lovely conversation, and then tomorrow we go to Playdays, again, under the shadow of people were pulled out of their workplaces and deported today, right? Feels weird, feels bizarre. But yeah.
It just feels like so oppressive that, like I brought up Andor earlier. There's a character on Andor where it's like he's the husband of Mon Mothma, and he's like, I just like fun and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, that's who I am. I'm the guy that all I can do is ignore it because the other choice is, what is the other choice?
But it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. Well, no, that's the thing. It's deflating. It hurts my soul. Like
for sure. But like I think the thing, right, is that like as long as we are moving in ways that are cognizant of the things that are happening, as long as we are sitting in front of cameras and microphones and not pretending that like BDS is like probably you shouldn't hang out with Microsoft right now.
Yeah,
like that's probably a good way to live.
Specifically didn't invite Phil on this year.
Yeah, for sure, right? Like, and that's the way that you have to move, because otherwise it's like, actually probably if you're not moving that way, you're moving in support of these things, and like, if you're supporting those things, fuck off, right? So it's tough, right? We sit here, we talk about video games. That's the gig, that's the job, that's the reason that we are here, but like, it's little.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
little.
Right. And
But Andor taught us every small act of insurrection moves the line forward.
And it's like the only way that you do that insurrection, the only way that you do that rebellion, gross, is that like you.
Welcome to the rebellion, Niki.
is that you have to talk about it, right? If you are afraid to have the conversations, if you're afraid to move in ways that are prickly and make you feel gross, then like, sorry, bud, you're not equipped.
I think what you're just trying to say is rebellions are built on hope.
I'm gonna
That character in the hotel, he was awesome.
Yeah. For sure.
No spoilers, no spoilers.
Sorry.
No spoilers.
I have a question for you, Grab. Who's the Luthen of video games?
We don't have one. Yeah, if we did, things would be a lot better. Yeah, no.
I think we don't know who he is. If he does exist.
But like that's the point.
Yeah,
right?
that's
like
the
it's
point.
like we are in a spot now where the questions that we have to ask ourselves are not about like, oh, are you gonna? Does it matter that Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour costs $10? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares?
Brother, like it does not matter.
Yeah.
Are you pissed off about the fact again? I will say this again, that 4 blocks away from this thing that Jeff is having, people were taken out of their workplaces and deported from this country for doing nothing other than working. Are you pissed off about that? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Are you gonna say something about that? Yes or no? That's the conversation we have to have.
It's like, I'm at a point where it's like we're having the conversation. Like I want to do more, but what do we do?
I mean, it's probably call the people who are in charge. It's like, it feels like, right? Like the groundswell is moving in situations, or moving in ways where people are like, oh, actually, it sucks that people are being ripped out of my community for no reason. People who are contributing to my community are being ripped out of it for no reason. It is calling people who are in charge. It is yelling. We have the worst governor in the entire
that's where I'm
country
like, I've lost hope on that side of things. That's where I'm really broken. Is the idea that like that anyone that I see on the news that is supposed to be standing up against this can do anything about it. I've lost hope a long time ago. So it's like, that's where I'm like, no, I need to be doing something more than even that.
No, for sure. But then the move, right, is that like, okay, yeah, it is really hard to be like, oh, Gavin Newsom can suck a bag of dicks. That guy sucks ass.
Good podcast, though.
No, good. Great podcast. Great podcast.
Someone's actually listening to that podcast, though, right?
I just want to talk.
I think the other part of it is I think there's a way you want to look at it from your career of being like, I have a platform, I have this stuff.
Yeah.
To try to be like, how can I spin my video games into like political activism? And I think part of it is like literally cutting your ego out of it and just being like, actually, I'm also just a citizen of the country.
You're a person,
like
right?
there's one side where it's like, I'm gonna put on, you know, the biggest live stream. I'm gonna do a big thing that's gonna be my big gesture, and then racism will be solved.
Yeah,
and part of it is really just like, if you know, you just call your center.
No,
like,
call your center, but
do the things as a person.
It does not even have to be that big, right? Like, something that I've been thinking about a lot is that like we have lost the idea of community. So many people
that
are my age are like searching for the idea of this third space, right? Like it is a place that is not your home, that it is not work, that is like where you can go. But it's like, okay, for sure, if you're looking for this third space, if you're looking for this third space, you don't actually have the skills to exist in that third space, right? You have to reach out to the people around you and be like, do you need anything? Are you okay? Can I help you? Can I watch
But isn't that what's great about games, though? Is that gaming is that third space.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be a physical third space with games. There's a lot of virtual third spaces for gamers.
And I think, right, like the conversations that we are afraid to have about whether or not the people around you are okay.
Yeah.
Like we are building off of a foundation that currently does not exist.
Yes.
We have to be able to look to your left and your right and be like, do you need anything? Can I help you at all? All of my shit was stolen yesterday. I posted on Blue Sky, I said, I need help desperately. I'm gonna cry. I need help desperately. Many people came and said, here, let me help you.
Everyone's desperate to help each other, but we have a system around us that
tells you that you cannot do it.
And then it's risky to do that, putting yourself out there.
Aren't games the opposite of that? Like, don't games convince you that you have power, that you have choices, that things can be different?
They tell us it can be, but then we go outside and we're under capitalism where it is dangerous to do these things.
Yeah, I think it's like,
dangerous.
it just has to be, it's so easy. Like, it's scary for sure, but like being like, hey, can I watch your dog? Do you need groceries? What if I came over to your house and cooked for you? Yeah. Do you need a meal? Are you going somewhere? I have a friend who cooked me a meal. I said, this next 4-day span is going to be shitty for me. I'm going to be all over the place, not at home. I will be at home to sleep. And they said, I will make you a meal. Relieving for me. And like, if we move in that way for each other, whether or not we are in the same space, it could be as easy as, I will order you groceries, I will order you a meal. We have the tools. We are afraid, like you said, Grub, we are afraid to use them because we are being taught that actually helping people is not the move.
And like asking for help for someone, or even offering help to like a neighbor. It's like one day they might come to me and ask for something that I can't deliver, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna cut myself off from that possibility.
No, and
so that's where like this, I build this wall around myself.
For sure, and it's like, if you cannot help, statistically speaking, you know someone who can.
Yeah. It's a skill though that I have not developed.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's like the only way you can do it is by building it with the people that you are comfortable around, right? So that when someone who you are not comfortable with comes to you and is like, damn, I need help.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, actually, like, if I can't do it, I will try my best. If I can't get there, I know someone who statistically can probably help you.
And I think what your story about people coming out to help you was, everyone wants to help. Everyone really wants to do this. We just got to find a way to get it together.
Do it. Like it is hard and it is not hard. Like it is both of those things at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, help the people around you, because if we don't, then we're dead. I love you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you all for coming on to this segment. We got one more for tonight here from the Warframe Villa.
Whoa!
Okay, good to see see you. All right, we're gonna get back right after this. We gotta go to, where we're going now, back out to the Fungalow. All right, go check out the Fungalow, everybody. We'll be back after this.
Are you allowed to say that?
I don't know. I gotta pass.